Possums and friends all around the world. We are Offensive Points, and today we have an ADP check-in. It is March 18th, 2026, and we're going to talk about some risers and fallers. Hit it. All right, free agency has passed, and we've had a lot of shaking up in the NFL. We're going to look at a really cool tool brought to you by 4for4. They track what's going on in underdog drafts as we speak, and we're going to dive in there and just check out what they have for the highest or the best risers, the best fallers, the wild cards that we think should be higher but aren't. And we're going to dive into that. So, Josh, Billy, what's up?
Happy to be here. Happy to talk about some football, guys. This is some of the best times of the year, best time to make some fantasy trades, and best time to just kind of get acquainted with the next class and where these players are looking before all the new people come in. So looking forward to diving into this with y'all.
Yeah, there is actual rookies in this data. However, I chose to not add them in because the data is so fluctuating that it's kind of hard to to make. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard to make an accurate, is that a real thing? Or is that just he tripped during his, 40, that's going to cost him 30 spots in ADP. So we are just not going to add any of those in right now. We're just going to go with the players that are established. I did the data from basically the first of the year, 2026 until now. And we're going to see some of the biggest risers and fallers that's happened. So without further ado, let's just get into it. We got the risers section. The top riser from as far as in the first 30 picks is Ken Walker. He ended the season at pick 30. He has risen all the way to pick 20. So that's going from the third round to the second round. Do we agree with this representation of his ADP right now?
Yeah, he is the RB1 in Kansas City. Kareem Hunt is not there. There's no one else really to challenge him for anything. So it's Kenneth Walker, and this offense is going to run through him while Patrick Mahomes works his way back from that ACL.
I'm kind of shocked that he only jumped up 10 spots, honestly. I felt like he was ranked so much lower. I guess by the end of the season, it feels like he was, doing well enough to where he, obviously – deserved a pretty good ranking, but I felt like in drafts he was 40, 50. They're maybe 38, something along those lines. So to see him at 30 before this and then jump up to 20, 20 sounds about right. I'd say I think we talked about this recently, where he would be in the second roundish, and that sounds about right.
So right now he is sandwiched RB wise between Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. So feels about right? Based on him having a sole workload with the Chiefs, basically having that offense. Now if they add a running back, it's kind of muddled that a little bit. But I think going into where we're at right now, if you were to make a trade in Dynasty for him, I think this is about the value I would see him at. I don't think a lot of people are in on what his value is just yet, but I think RB11, that's about right. Next,
I think you'd be pretty
all agree for once.
Okay, well, I'm not used to us agreeing, but I think that one's about right. We'll see if we can keep the train rolling. The next player is Mike Evans. He was 66 overall. He has risen to 51 after the move from the Buccaneers to San Francisco. This one actually is a little bit more interesting to me because I Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, I know that there's less options with San Francisco, but doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to get a bigger volume to have that 51 come back. Right now, what are you guys thinking about that? I'm currently not thinking I agree with this one as much.
I'm thinking higher personally. Mike Evans has been a mainstay in this league for years, and I don't see why, just because he's 32 years old or whatever, that he's just going to stop being good. Everyone's worried about his age and everything. I'm not worried about his age. He's gotten 1,000 yards every season. Yes, he had a banged up season finally. That happens. And not to mention, you can throw the Purdy Baker argument around all you want, but I feel like it's pretty lateral transfer quarterback wise. The only thing it is for Brock is it's his shiny new toy. Like he finally gets someone to throw the ball to, and it's been a couple weird years of wide receivers there with IU situation and what they had last year, which was not a whole lot. So he's good. I feel like Mike Evans should be a little bit higher, honestly. I mean, the wide receivers above him are borderline wide receiver 2s on teams, and albeit good teams. Jameson Williams, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, I guess, would probably be a 1, but those are the few people that are ahead of him, and I think I could see him jumping 3 or 4 of them. Like I could see him going up 5 or 6 spots here, like in this ranking. So I'm not upset about this at all, barring they draft a elite wide receiver in the draft, or hopefully elite receiver in the draft.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Josh. Mike Evans, absolute stud. His game aligns so well with what Brock Purdy does. I am so excited to see it. If he can stay healthy, he's a steal in the 5th, 4th round right now. I would totally have his wide receiver too.
All right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little like murkier on the situation there to where like I don't know.
There's no other game in town. I mean, Kittle's probably not going to play next year, you'd imagine, right?
I don't know. They always say like
the first few weeks, I would imagine he'd be out.
I was about to say, I always feel like, well, that's he's cooked for the entire season, and they're like, well, he's going to be back for training camp. It's like, how the hell is that going to happen? But
Kittle and Mike Evans is going to be a fun like end zone target. Who's getting the end zone target this round? So it'll be a fun little matchup there.
That's true. They also have Parasol. We'll see how that goes. Juwan Jennings. We'll see what happens there. But
didn't they get another receiver? I thought they got another receiver.
I don't know it off the top of my head, but if you can find it real quick, I don't know. I'm just like not. I don't know. I'm not as sold on Mike Evans. Yeah,
Christian Kirk.
Did they get Christian Kirk? I don't know.
I feel like Mike Evans is clearly the one on this team, right? Like, and it's like Ricky Pearsall. The connection has not happened yet. I mean, I'm happy to see it, but at the moment we haven't. And yes, he's been injured off and on, and had some booms in there as well, but. He had a shot to be like the dude last year and never built that connection with Purdy. So I feel like the job's open, and it's like, now could I see Christian Kirk being good? Sure, but I don't see Christian Kirk being that dude. I could see Mike Evans being that dude. I don't know, but I feel like his ADP is fine. I just personally think could be bumped up a bit.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe by the time the season starts and we actually have all of these wide receiver rooms in place, maybe I'll feel differently about him. Right now, a little lukewarm. All right, well, let's move on to one that we're all not going to be super fans of, I don't think, but I don't know. Maybe you all will surprise me. It's Bayshal Tuten. He's gone from 76 up to 57, right in the round 5. I don't – obviously, right now it's based on them not having another running back necessarily in the room, and I'm sure we're all kind of thinking they may add someone in the draft. But based on where it is right now, thinking that they won't add anyone else, are you comfortable taking Tuten in the 5th round?
If they don't add anyone else, yeah. I mean, I'm not excited about it. I want to see it first. I mean, I can't even really say we saw some flashes from Tuten. We saw some capabilities from him. So it's possible he could be the dude, but this feels like a draft a running back scenario, right? Like. So this one might just be too soon to call, in my opinion. But if it stays this way and this is his running back room, yeah, I could take Tuten around here.
I totally disagree. I hate this for Bayshal Tuten. Everyone has been on this dude forever. He looked okay last year. He didn't look like a game breaker, and he definitely didn't look like an RB1 in an offense. He's currently going above DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery.
Okay,
Chuba. I'd rather have Chuba and Tyler Allgeier over Bayshal Tuten, and those guys are going 3 rounds later. So
I was going to reference the Montgomery thing, but I thought we were going to get to it. So I saw him way down there, and I was like, okay, well,
we are going to get to the Montgomery thing.
I feel like Bayshal Tuten is fine, but I mean the Chris Rodriguez signing, they signed him to a good amount of money. I think he's making more money than Rico Dowdle this year, who we think is going to be a starter. So, yeah. I mean, let's say he's your early down back. He doesn't do much in the receiving game. And then Bayshal Tuten's your kind of change of pace back. And then you got LaQuinn Allen there who works as a pass catcher too. So they're taking snaps from him. And let alone if they draft a running back or sign one in training camp, I just don't. This is way too ballsy to have him up in this round right here.
I think what he was before is about right. the 76th pick, like I would feel more comfortable taking him exactly where that was rather than now people trying to manufacture him going higher. And I know, again, that this is based on the fact that they don't have a 1 on their team. However, I'm like, we think for sure that Tuten's the 1, or this isn't just going to be a gigantic committee? Because, I mean, I know Etienne's given up a lot of touches, but I don't think Tuten's the one they're all going to go to.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. It's too rich for my blood.
Yeah, it's just a toss-up at the moment. Chris Rodriguez things definitely puts a kink in it, but at the moment, if this is the 3 running backs they're going in with, I think Tuten gets the first shot at it. I mean, yeah, they gave Chris Rodriguez money and they're going to use him, but I think it's Tuten's job to lose to start with. Like, I mean, he was clearly the RB2 on the team last year. You vacate the RB1 and Etienne, next man up. He's the starter. They didn't sign Chris Rodriguez to be the starter. They signed Chris Rodriguez to help. So I don't know. I mean, I still think this is going to be a draft, so I think it's too soon to call anyway. I think they're gonna add a running back to this room.
The problem is, even if they do add a running back, how much are you going to like that new running back coming into this mess of a situation? Like,
depends on who it is.
I mean, if it's Love, obviously it's like, okay, well, everyone else get the hell out of the way. This is the Jeremiah Love show. I don't either, but it's like whoever's, we don't really have a good RB2 in this class. So do we think, that person would even be getting more than 40 to 50% of the snaps? I'm not sure going in, but we'll see.
I don't know. If they add a running back, no matter where, 2nd to 5 or whatever of the running backs that are on the board, like it's gonna gum everything up. I mean, yeah, but there's still then that would, to me, would just prove that they don't believe in Tuten enough to where they signed Chris Rodriguez as a backup and they still are adding into the capital of draft. So
probably right about that. Okay, let's move on to another wide receiver. This is going from Joe's Bears to the Buffalo Bills. It's DJ Moore. He's gone from 95 to 64, which seems a little rich. But at the same time, you're playing with Josh Allen now. They have him quoted as being the 1. DJ Moore, Joe, do you think he's really going to go from 95 to 64, and that's going to be a good spot for him?
I do think that is the case. I know Stefon Diggs had great years with Josh Allen, but I think DJ Moore is a better wide receiver than Stefon Diggs is. And he fits the offense from what I've seen even a little bit better. So for what they invested in DJ Moore, I think you're going to see a player that's absolutely featured. Kincaid, Knox aren't going to take much away from him. Shakir's not going to take much away from him. I think this dude is just going to get the targets we saw 3 years ago when he was first with the Bears. I think this is an awesome opportunity to get DJ Moore as your wide receiver 3. It will not be that way come August, but if you could work out some trade in Dynasty to try to get him at his current price, even though it's inflated, this would be an awesome move for your fantasy team.
I feel like we've seen this movie before, right? Like Stefon Diggs came in the relative around the same time. I don't know how many years DJ Moore's played, but I think it was like 5 or 6 in Minnesota for Diggs. And then he goes to Buffalo and he did exceedingly well. The only problem is I haven't seen Josh Allen choose a number 1 in 3+ years. Now, obviously they put some draft capital at this to make him the number 1, but will Josh Allen actually use him as such is my biggest question mark. I mean, he's really good at spreading the ball around. I don't like this would not be a good landing spot for AJ Brown. I don't think he'd be happy here getting, I only got 6 targets today and I got 4 last week. Like it could be a bit of a mixed bag, but I think overall, like this should be the dude, right? Like we should see at least, I say 1,000-yard receiver. So, I mean, this draft position isn't terrible. Could go up.
What I don't understand about this is since he's going 64, Khalil Shakir is going 124, which is way down in like the 12th round. Is there not enough room on this offense for 2 good receivers that are both going to contribute? I mean, Kincaid's still up a little bit higher as well, but I just could see both of them being contributors, and I feel like I'd take Shakir at his current price over DJ Moore at that price. I don't know. I just don't think their production is going to be that much apart. Like we're talking 6 rounds difference, and I just don't see the production being 6 rounds different than each other.
If anything,
I think it will be.
If anything, I see DJ Moore. I know you'd say that, Joe. But if anything, I see DJ Moore going up in the rankings as the closer we get on, because we're going to see some clips from him catching some balls from Josh Allen. People are going to get hyped, and then say they don't draft a rookie into this as well. Like, then they're pretty much left with what they got last year and DJ Moore, and no one did it last year, so it's got to be DJ Moore. Like, that's the mentality, right? Like, so
yeah,
I think you might be onto something, Billy. I might be taking the Kincaid or Shakir route just because I don't know if I could stomach the price tag. Hopefully it works out really well, but like, we got other wide receivers going around this time, some rookies, and Marvin Harrison's right here. I think I'd take the equal shot on Marvin Harrison finally doing something.
I don't know. I'm taking Moore, dude. This is the best quarterback he's ever played with, and we're going to sit there and we're going to see him rise up in price with Josh Allen as his quarterback. So as it moves in there, I don't know, Billy. I like this Khalil Shakir thought. It's just I feel like he would have done it by now. Like he's been the only guy in town that hated Keon Coleman, and he's only put up 800 yards as his highest receiving total for a year. So I just feel like DJ Moore is going to come in there and be the alpha immediately in this offense, and I don't think there's a whole lot of room in this offense for anyone outside of DJ Moore and James Cook. So that's kind of where I'm leaning.
Counterpoint, Joe, he was just on an offense that was led by Ben Johnson, and he couldn't even manufacture him to be, what you think he's going to be with Josh Allen. I know Josh Allen's good. Look, I understand. At a certain point, though, other than not having Stefon Diggs, he cannot create a good receiver. It just doesn't feel that way. And maybe they haven't gotten the right guy yet, and maybe DJ Moore is that guy, but I don't know. I'm concerned a little more than you are, I guess, about this. But I know you're in the bag for DJ Moore, so it makes sense.
I'm saying in the 6th round all day, dude.
Okay. Fair enough.
Could get 120 targets all day in the 6th round.
I think I'd draft him here. I don't think I'm going to draft him when it comes down to where he's laying in redraft. I can only see this going up higher and getting kind of gummed up with like even the Bears receivers. Like, I think I'd take the chance on Romeo Doubs or Luther Burden before him, but I think he's going to go right around that draft spot. So
Devonta Smith or DJ Moore.
Devonta Smith.
Well, okay, Joe, how are you asking that question?
Well, Devonta Smith's currently going as 43.
Yeah, 100% would take Devonta Smith like 100 times out of 100.
Why? If AJ is still there, why?
We don't
Joe,
know if AJ's
look
going to do it.
in his background, Joe.
That's why. Devonta Smith's that dude. Skinny Batman, dude.
DJ Moore or T. Higgins?
That's a toss-up.
If I knew
Joe
Burrow, Joe Burrow was going to be healthy for the whole year, it'd be Higgins, but I don't know that. So
DJ Moore or Teteroa McMillan?
Ted.
I'd take Ted, 100%.
Yeah.
For why? Okay, we're gonna disagree on this. I see.
You haven't seen DJ Moore do anything productive in like 3 years, and you're all of a sudden going to start saying that he's just going to magically start doing it again now. I know he's with Josh Allen, but other guys have gone and played with Josh Allen, and it hasn't necessarily worked.
The only guy that went was Stefon Diggs, and it worked really well. Everything else was homegrown talent, and clearly they cannot draft a wide receiver.
That's true. Well, and we know they're going to draft another one too, by the way. So like that, don't even put that out of the mix either.
Yeah, if they go draft like Mekhi Lemon or something, or Conception or something on this team, I'd be like, all right, I'm out completely. Like, I'm that close to where like I'm like I don't trust him being beaten out by a rookie.
Remember when they signed Amari
Wide receiver
Cooper?
16 last year.
That was going to matter. And he
DJ Moore was wide receiver 16 last year?
Well, in 2024.
Oh, so 2 years ago.
This was like his first bad season.
What have you done for me lately? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I get it. I'm excited.
I love this for you, Joe.
Weirdly excited for a player to leave your team. I love it, Joe.
Weirdly excited. He just wants him to succeed, but just, not against the Bears. All right, we're going to go back to a player that we kind of already talked about, but we didn't really expound upon. It was David Montgomery. He's gone from 107 to 71. Hey, when you become the starter in Houston after what we've seen, this kind of tracks for me. If they don't add anyone else, like this could totally be the landing spot here.
This is exactly where David Montgomery is in every single draft ever. End of the 6th round. It's just a free running back to add to your roster, and a pretty damn good one, too. I think people, speaking of the what have you done for me lately, everyone's going to think that about Montgomery. Well, he's not that good. Gibbs is better. Sure, that doesn't mean Montgomery's not good. I think this is complete value at 70.
Uh-oh. He's muted, so I don't know what. Okay,
my dryer just was doing its beeping.
Oh, okay, it's the dryer thing again. I thought you were like really keeping us on our toes with what your answer was about to be.
My answer is gonna be, I love this. David Montgomery is in a great spot. The line concerns me, dude. Woody Marks doesn't concern me. Everything else doesn't concern me. The line does concern me a little bit. But this is fantastic. And Josh, you're right. Just based on his name, he's going to continue going in this spot. I could see him rise up, 59, 60, but I would be so comfortable drafting him there. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
71, I will be taking all of the David Montgomery that's coming my way. Because I really truthfully don't think they're going to add another running back. It just feels like they're not going to. I don't know that for a fact, obviously, because we'll see when the draft happens, but it just feels like they're not going to add, or at least not one of substantial value. Like 6th, 7th round, maybe they add a guy just to stash on the bench like Jawar Jordan or something. But I don't think it's going to be anybody that's actually threatening to. But, we said that about Woody Marks, but injuries kind of played a part in that.
If they don't draft 7 offensive linemen in this draft, if I was a Texans fan, I'd just quit, dude.
Yeah, I can agree with you there. Just one of them's got to hit,
I've seen a rumor that the Texans were apparently thinking about being in on the A.J. Brown sweepstakes, and I was like, what would that look like? That would be interesting. I don't know if he'd get his targets, considering Nico only ever gets like 3 catches a game for 100 yards, but would he be happy with 3 catches for 100 yards? I mean,
it's a good question. Okay, let's move on down the list. It is Tyler Allgeier time. He was 100. He is now going 88, which, mind you, is a huge rise. However, with how messy that backfield is currently, with Benson and Connor both going to be there, do we think an 8th round pick is going to get back value for Tyler Allgeier?
Joe?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, in the 8th round. I mean, he's the starting running back on this team.
You are on almost every player. It's so refreshing.
I'm a very positive person, Billy.
I know.
I hang my hat on that every day. But my Lord, Tyler Allgeier is so much better than 70-year-old James Conner coming off of an injury. And we saw Trey Benson still dealing with that injury that was only supposed to sideline him for 2 weeks back in October. This is a new coaching staff. They got Tyler Allgeier, and they brought James Conner back to back him up, which is a great spot for James Conner at this point in his career. I think we will see some life out of James Conner this year, but I think this is Tyler Allgeier's show, and I think he's going to get a full year with a starting job at least.
I don't know where the other two are going, Benson and Connor, but I think I'd just rather take the shot on them in like 2-3 rounds because, I mean, it's not high draft capital, the 7th, 8th round. I mean, sure, just pick one at this point. It's like one of them will probably be a good enough addition to your team. Just something tells me it's going to be a gummy backfield, and it's not going to just be clear-cut one. I mean, they did it last year with once Connor and Benson went down, it was DeMercado and Bam Knight and another guy. Can you remember who the third guy was at this point? Like they were just rotating them in there. It was no rhyme, no reason. I could see them just continuing with that mantra here. They don't have a true number one. James Conner would probably be the closest to that, but as you said, injuries, age. I mean, he's really more of that veteran presence trying to coach these guys up. Allgeier in Dynasty, though, pretty excited about. I mean, that could be a potential something. I mean, he's got a good contract and he has a chance to do something here, but I don't know. At the moment, I'm kind of like, I don't really want any of these guys in redraft, but if I do, it's just kind of filling out the bottom of the bench.
What are the Cardinals doing? Like, what is the plan here? Like, they're going into the season with Jacoby Brissett, but Marvin Harrison Jr.'s timeline is like, we should be getting to where he's a star, but you're not going to get that necessarily with Jacoby Brissett. They signed Tyler Allgeier to be probably the starter for the team, but like it's only a 2-year deal. They're definitely not going to be competing this season. So is it just a kind of, I don't even know, Band-Aid over? I just like, I don't, yeah, exactly. The like timelines of each position are like different, way all over the place. And I just don't know what to make about what they're doing. I
really
don't
feel
know.
like this team has enough to at least like semi-compete, like potentially steal a wild card or like get close to it at least. Like now, I don't know, they'd have to go on some magnificent run, miracle run if they had a. I want to say if they had a quarterback, like you bring back Jacoby Brissett instead of going and getting one of the other quarterbacks out there, or like, I mean, obviously you're not getting the one that's in the draft essentially, and maybe they do draft, I don't know, Diego Pavia or one of the other two quarterbacks that are potentially valuable in the future. But at the moment, it just feels like we're punting till. Well, I'm just saying, it just feels like we're punting till next year to get the quarterback of your dreams, basically. Like I don't know, like it feels gross. Like I would hate to be a fan base like that, where your team has this talent where you could actually be competing if you had this or that. It's like you didn't even try. You just Gino. Sorry, Gino Smith.
By the way, there's too many teams that it feels like are trying the like. Well, I guess we'll just punt on this year and we'll just take one of the good QBs in the next draft class. Newsflash, there's probably, I mean, while there's probably going to be like 5 guys in the first round, I mean, only like 3 of them are probably going to hit. That's just the math of it all. Like you might end up with Josh Rosen while everybody else ends up with, Josh Allen. Like that's just the way of the road.
Crazy.
Like it just happens that way sometimes. So like, Arizona feels like they're doing it. Dolphins feel like they're doing it. Saints aren't admitting that they're doing it, but it feels like they're doing it. Dolphins are
good football last year, at least.
He could, and he is I just think he's a good bridge guy. I don't think he's the guy that gets you to the Super Bowl. I think they still just need a guy. And Miami Dolphins
are definitely punting on everything.
What they've done to Malik Willis is the worst thing that has happened to a guy I've seen. Like he signed that contract thinking full well that they planned on being, they must have just really talked to him and been like, hey, listen, this first year is going to suck. It's going to be terrible. I'm not going to try to lie to you right here. But the thing is, it's like, if you're going to get that high of a draft pick, then why wouldn't you take a quarterback and then you have like Willis there? It just doesn't make any sense mathematically. But all right. Well, I don't know. We spent a lot of time on Arizona.
Arizona, just real quick. They have to look at the Rams. I mean, the Rams have Matthew Stafford for maybe one more year. Seahawks just won a Super Bowl, and the 49ers have a young quarterback in Brock Purdy and are maybe getting healthy.
Championship multiple times.
Yeah. They're like, what do you even do with that? You're like, I could tear it down, but we're not going to be remotely competitive for 5 years with this group right here. So,
kind of gives me like Chargers vibes, like when the Chiefs, I mean, still probably are dominant, but like the Chargers finally had a chance to like be that team last year. And it's like, that feels like they've just been kicked to the mud because they play the Chiefs every year and the Broncos have been good and stuff. So yeah, I agree. Arizona definitely is in a kind of a shitty spot with the 3 teams they have to play all the time. But at the end of the day, like do something, like go get a quarterback that can
build a great defense. I mean, that's the sneaky thing that every team in that division's done is just really built a good defense. Maybe not the 49ers. The defense is
okay, but yeah, not good.
Seattle and the Rams, they've got solid defenses, and that helps their offense quite a bit when they can get off the field. I don't know. We'll see what they do. They got their Green Bay Packer people in there now, so we'll see what they can do differently. All right, next one on the list is a direct, I'm going to assume because of Mike Evans, it's Chris Godwin. He's gone from 114 to 98, about a 2-round jump. I'm on the fence about this one because I love Chris Godwin, but man, those like 6 weeks off he takes every season, or at least it has felt like recently he's taken like 6 weeks off every year. It's just really hard for me to be very excited about it, now that there's a lot of targets vacated.
I will say this is cheaper than we ever get Godwin. So like if he stays around this level, I'm about it. But yeah, I mean, the shiny new toy is like Buka, right? Like, so people are going to he's in like the 40s or 30s even. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind this because like, yeah, it sucks having Godwin when he's not playing, but as your wide receiver 3 or 4, I mean, you could do worse. This could be a good spot to have a guy who could potentially just be that dude without Mike Evans there. We've never really had a chance to see Godwin without Mike Evans. We had the thought that might happen. I think when they both had some contracts up, Godwin got a contract first, and then we were like waiting on Mike Evans. And then I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but it seems like that was what happened. It was like we might finally get to see Chris Godwin by himself, and then it never happened. It will never happen because we got Ibuka now. So, but no, yeah, I mean, at 100, Shit, you could do worse.
Yeah, you can definitely do worse. I mean, 2 years ago, he was on his way to just shattering wide receiver 1 overall easily if he would have continued on that pace he was on. A little banged up last year, competition. Yeah, I will take this shot on Chris Godwin all day. If I get 8 games out of him, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, I'm really just hoping the Buccaneers just say, hey, let's build the defense in the draft this season. I get it. I was wrong last year. I thought there's no way in hell they don't take a defensive player, but then they take a Buka. But hopefully they're not like, let's replace Mike Evans and go get Denzel Boston, because we just really don't need that or any more of that. Just let it be the big Buka Godwin show and sprinkle a little Jalen McMillan in there. I think we'll all just be happy with that. It'll be fine.
I will say all the mock drafts I was seeing, it was Sadiq going there at the time. And this was also prior to, at least to my knowledge, it was prior to Otten being re-signed, which is wild. They gave him 3 years when they could just go get Sadiq, but whatever, that's fine. I guess you can't take that chance in case you don't get him, but if he could still add Sadiq, even with Cade Otton, and then just be in that more clusterfuck of targets. So it's a fun team. Fantasy is just questionable at times.
It does help, though, with one less target there. Although Baker Mayfield will definitely find whoever the third person is.
Sterling Shepard has been thriving there for years.
Yeah, that kind of stuff just happens, I guess, sometimes. They're the ones that should have gone and got Hollywood Brown. That'd been fun to add that. Okay, a couple more I got here. Romeo Doubs has gone from 137 to 109. I actually don't think this is high enough. Like, I think that this eventually will get even higher. I think that the reaction has not met what I would think it would based on him being right now the solo number 1 for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't, I think this is also just forecasting that A.J. Brown or something in the draft is happening, or both even. But at the time being, like, you can't smash this enough in a draft. Like, if you get Romeo Doubs in the 12th round, or I guess it would be like 10th round, 9th round. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He's good. We saw him with Love, and Love clearly enjoyed throwing it to him. He was probably one of the most consistent receivers because he was healthy comparatively to the other wide receivers. But it'd be interesting to see him in this role. I mean, with Drake Maye. I mean, Drake Maye threw it to all these wide receivers. If he likes Romeo Doubs, it could do really well. I mean, they could go draft a guy and Romeo Doubs could still do well. I mean, now if AJ goes there, I think that changes a couple things, but yeah, this could be way better. I don't have super faith, but bumping up 10 spots back up to that Chris Godwin area in the 90s, I think that would be probably accurate.
Yeah. No, again, I mean, this is fantastic. Romeo Doubs playing with a better quarterback than he's ever played with before. Fuck you, Packers. Stefon Diggs was there. He's given up. They lost 102 targets with him leaving. Romeo Doubs is better than Matt Collins. He's better than Pop Douglas. He's better than Keyshawn Boutte. He's better than Kyle Williams, even though everyone wants to say he's not. But what I'm saying is Romeo Doubs, even if he is the wide receiver 2 on this team, absolutely deserves this draft spot. And if they don't do anything, he should be up way higher than this, like 60s, because I think he is just set up for a monster season. Either way, the best season he's had in his career will happen this year, and I am totally here for it.
Joe really is a positive person.
He is. He can, but this one I can actually understand.
No, I do agree.
We'll see these last two, what Joe thinks. All right. Next one is quarterback Kyler Murray, 141 is where he ended up. He is now 112, which still is not in the top 12 QBs, so let's say it's not a starter necessarily, but he is with the Vikings now. I think if he's named the starter, he could easily be up in like the 80s, 70s if he gets announced as the starter of the Vikings.
I mean, we're talking backup quarterbacks at this point in fantasy, but let me tell you, I had Kyler Murray as a backup quarterback last year, and it was fucking abysmal. Now with Justin Jefferson, that could be super fun, but we've seen him be kind of hit or miss, even with good receivers. Now this is definitely the best receiver he's ever played with, even in prime Hopkins. No offense, but yeah, I mean, I guess taking the chance on a backup quarterback like this isn't terrible. I'm burnt by the Kyler Kyler bug right now. I don't want it at all. Also, I don't know if he's going to start. What if he does bad and they just like, oh, JJ is the guy, or like I don't know, something stupid. We're like, oh, why'd you get Kyler Murray then?
Yeah, that's my only concern is we get to training camp and they're like, oh, JJ McCarthy looks so much better than Kyler Murray. Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't know. Kyler Murray, when he's been healthy, has been a top 10 quarterback. Every year he's played, except for last year. I mean, that was the coaching staff on the outs. That was all screwed up. He needed to get out of Arizona. And this is just, I mean, the weapons here are unreal. I know we were like, oh, he's got Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. This is amazing. This is amazing, like Josh said. So
and that's
I'm very excited about this.
Bump for Hawkinson, man, which I have not thought of really. Like Hawkinson's been just absolutely not there at all. A ghost of himself the last couple of years, even with injuries.
And he's absolutely free right now.
Yeah, nobody cares about Hawkinson.
I can't live in a world where Kyler Murray gets beat out by JJ McCarthy in camp. I'm just waiting for it. I just won't know. I literally won't know what to do with myself. If they come out and say like, well, it was close, but because it was close, we're going to give it to JJ McCarthy. I might be able to withstand that. But if they just clear out, say like JJ McCarthy was better than Kyler Murray, I'm just going to be like, I don't know what I'm watching every week then.
I mean, the goal here is to make JJ McCarthy good, right? So like you want to sit him immediately. That should be the plan. But I've seen weirder things with them drafting rookies that are not ready and then putting them right in and letting them fail. We've seen it time and time again. So
kind of seems like they should trade JJ McCarthy now.
Just end it all.
But what?
I mean, they could probably get a pretty good.
You think somebody would trade actual value for him right now?
Yeah. We've seen this with Josh Rosen, and I mean, Josh Rosen comes to my mind right off the bat, but like he got traded for a pretty good premium when he went to I forgot which team he got traded to, but we're sitting here, young quarterbacks in a league where clearly there are no quarterbacks left to be had, especially if Rodgers hangs it up this year. So, yeah, I think you should try to move JJ McCarthy now and get out ahead of all this.
Josh Rosen
I just feel like I'd rather. That's funny.
What was it?
He got traded.
Oh no, he's on the practice squad. He got traded to Atlanta, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, either way.
I
just feel like I'd rather just take Mac Jones. I'd rather trade for Mac Jones right now than I would JJ McCarthy.
Or Tanner McKee, who seems to be available with the Eagles signing Dalton. I mean, at least take that chance on a guy who like has shown good. Like JJ hasn't shown anything on tape that's good in the NFL, like at all. Maybe one play.
But that one Bears game where he went like crazy in the fourth quarter for no real reason at all.
That was on that was on the Bears, and I watched that in Maine, and I was really sad for Joe. It was a sad time.
Yeah,
you gave JJ McCarthy hope, Joe. That's what sucked about
9.
Don't worry, the rest of the NFL ripped it away pretty easily. So
yeah, well, I mean, he was terrible until he wasn't for like just a couple of minutes of a football game.
Now, then people wonder why the Bears got rid of all their defense this year.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
Everyone was screaming they should have kept Mayshawn Wright, and I was like, he got some interceptions that were fun. Coverage-wise, it was fine. To pay him that contract on one good year is just wild. Like, I'm glad you guys didn't.
I just think tearing the whole thing down. It wasn't even just about Mayshawn Wright. It was just none of them. Like, we're just going to let them all go. Like, I don't think that they were all
back made no sense, considering he went for like $5.6 million to Pittsburgh for 1 year. It's like you couldn't have gotten that in Chicago. Like, interesting, but
yeah, Brisker was the only one that really hurt.
It just didn't make sense. He was good, and he's young, and he's
Kobe Bryant and Byard are kind of the same position, but like I don't know. No, he's on New England now. But
okay, I didn't know
he also went to New England for like $6 million a year or something. So it was like very.
This isn't downing on Kobe Bryant. He's a hell of a safety. I think that was a great signing. But how did you not go get Brisker too? I don't even care if they play the same position. Put them at different safeties and figure it out. Like that would have been a fun safety group. Speaking with a guy that's on a team that has no safeties, be nice to have two.
For sure.
Love Kyler.
Okay, last one in the riser category. This is more just like a question mark one. Is Jordan Mason. He went from 147 to 122. I'm guessing that's just because they signed back Aaron Jones. Like I actually don't know why they did. Like why he rose 20 spots. That doesn't make sense.
No, who was the third running back? Ty Chandler, Minnesota. He got signed somewhere else. That's what it is. I think he vacated his spot, so it's like clear.
But still, like 12th,
No,
12th round.
They waited a long
seems like
time.
a guy you might use. Like you might actually use a 12th round pick, maybe. I mean,
they waited a long time to re-sign Aaron Jones. I think that's why we saw that big bump because there was, I think it was like 4 or 5 days into free agency before Aaron Jones finally got signed, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And they released Aaron Jones too, didn't they? But or they said they were going to let him walk, and then they re-signed him. I don't know.
Yeah, there was some at the end of the season. It seemed like it was the end of Aaron Jones, but then they brought it back anyway. So I don't know. It's weird.
So you're thinking this was like an overcorrection, and it just hasn't been corrected back? You think?
Well, there's no third guy there that to even scare of being the RB2 on the team. I mean, he just went up 25 spots in the 12th round, 14th round. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. And he was serviceable last year. I mean, I had him multiple places. He wasn't great, but when Aaron Jones got hurt, I mean, he did fine. So
yeah, I feel like both of them are just fine. Like I don't really want the Minnesota backfield, but this is a new team, so who knows? Maybe their run game will be a little bit more.
I just don't like. Why are they not drafting a guy? I just don't.
I assume they will. Maybe I don't know.
I hope.
I can see like a guy like Roshan Johnson going there. Or one of these other running backs that gets cut.
Yes, that's true.
Where is Roshan? Is he in Detroit?
Chicago.
Is he still Chicago?
No, he's still on his rookie deal.
Just wasting away on the Bears. Dude, the Bears have always done that where you have like this running back who like shown flashes and they're like, nope, you're on the bench. We got new running backs.
It's like, oh shit, we have Jordan Howard. Cool.
Dude. Good at drafting running backs at least.
For sure. All right. Those were the risers. Now let's talk about the fallers. Now I do want to preface the fallers with like this is not the super dramatic falls. Like the risers, there's been some extremes like up 30 spots. Most of these are like between 7 and 12 spots. So I just do think it's worth talking about. These falls aren't going to be so dramatic. The first one I want to talk about is Bucky Irving. He was 27. He's dropped to 34. I can't speak to why this happened. I get that they signed Kenneth Gainwell, but I just really, and they still have Sean Tucker there. I just really don't see how Gainwell is more of a threat than Rachaad White was in the same backfield. Like I can see maybe the passing work, some of it being taken away, but Bucky was a very serviceable running back that could catch passes. So I don't. Again, when they made this signing, I even was like, I think Bucky Irving and Kenneth Gainwell are kind of redundant. Bucky's just flat better than Kenneth Gainwell. So why he's gone down, I think that it's just an overreaction to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get your confusion in the Gainwell signing, but at the end of the day, like they never even used Rachaad White the correct way. Like he was never that like downhill runner that he should have been. They always used him on screen passes to go run outside. This is just a pass-heavy team, so I think Gainwell being an addition is just it was a good addition. It does complicate Bucky's status a bit, but not enough to like drop him down significantly. The only thing I could see contributing to that would be Bucky being injured for 9 weeks and nobody knowing why. And like, is that going to happen again? Or like, I mean, people probably going to slap the injury prone title on him just because of injury mismanagement by the team. So I'll still draft Bucky in this area. I mean, we got Etienne, Breece Hall, Kyron Williams around that. I think that's about where he should be. I mean, probably above all those guys, but at least in the conversation.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The Bucky Irving, the whole thing about not knowing about his injury and then he's fine and then he's not fine and then all of a sudden he's dealing with these mental issues and then there was just so much weird reporting with him. I think that's why we're seeing him drop. And I mean, the Kenneth Gainwell thing is a little worrisome because he caught 80-some passes last year, the Steelers, and that was kind of Bucky's what we loved about him was that pass catching that we saw from him. I mean, Bucky averaged 3.4 yards per carry last year. I don't know. I don't think he's done anything to say like, hey, this is my job. No one else can have it. I think they're kind of looking like, hey, we probably do need a committee.
I disagree with that personally. It is definitely his job when he's healthy because he looks amazing when healthy. But the problem is he was not healthy last year.
I just don't know if Kenneth.
I mean, that whole team looked a lot better.
The whole team was injured actually too, so they all had their share of injuries. But no, I like the Gainwell signing. It definitely comes it up a little bit, but I don't think Bucky like immediately drops off. He he's more of a runner than a pass catching guy anyway. He can catch passes though. There's no problem. It's not like he's the specialty third down back. Now it'll be interesting to see are we going to see Gainwell on 3rd and long every time, or are we going to see a mix of that? Because that would piss me off if the Bucs are in 3rd and long every time Gainwell's out there, the one to catch the 9 yards to not get the first down, because that's what the NFL does. Nickels and dimes.
Yeah. So I guess is Gainwell underdrafted? I guess I guess that's maybe.
No, I don't think it's quite fantasy relevant. It's more handcuffish. Like you might have your game here and there, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's like Gainwell's probably like 10 touches a game, maybe 5 catches, 5 rushes, like, and that's hopefully good, but couldn't be worse.
Gainwell is currently going 114 overall, right between J.K. Dobbins and Jonah Coleman, who's obviously a rookie, and Jordan Mason.
I'm glad Gainwell's had a little resurgence here, man. I'm kind of sad the Eagles never used him. They were always just very particular when they wanted to put Gainwell in. So good running back, though.
Well, from one running back to another running back, and I think this might be draft related, it's Cam Skattebo. He's gone from 44 overall to 54 overall. And I think this is just the Love worry that they're going to be targeting Love in the draft. I just like, on one hand, I respect Harbaugh because like I know that he wants to get a guy in there that he trusts, but I don't think this backfield is the problem with the team. I think we need to address other things first and not worry about that. But again, he likes his running backs, so I don't know.
I mean, the options here are essentially Sonny Styles or, I mean, maybe one of the safeties. They obviously don't need an edge rusher here. I mean, they could draft another one, but that'd be crazy. So, like, they didn't sign anyone in free agency with running back. Now, they do have, like, 5 people on their roster, so it's not like they're dire. Somehow Singletary's still on their roster. I don't know what the split looks like with a healthy Cam and Tracy. Like, that's the question as it is. And then you have the lingering Love fear. And it really seems like they're going to go that way. The addition of Likely, they've already kind of replaced Okereke with Tremaine Edmonds in free agency. Adding Mooney, like the running back seems like the next likely spot to upgrade. So if you get Love in this team, yeah, Skattebo and Tracy are dead pretty much. I mean, obviously they'll still play, but it won't be as heavy a dose of either of them. Tracy would just be dead in the water. Another Damian Pierce situation, routing behind 2 running backs.
I don't know what to say about this because Harbaugh just came from signing Derrick Henry and watching him make mincemeat of every defense that they played and being like, wow, yeah, maybe we should invest in a running back. It didn't work out with J.K. Dobbins. They tried to do it with him. Tried to do it with Gus Edwards. Didn't work out. Got Derrick Henry in there and just lit it up. So I think Harbaugh might be looking at this to be like, hey, let's get Jeremiah Love in there. And I don't know.
I wasn't sure if you were arguing for Skattebo or Jeremiah Love. Or I thought you might have been putting Skattebo in the Derrick Henry category. And I was like, technically, if he can not use his head as a battering ram.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you're a coach, you're like, dude, I love this kid, but we got to put him on the field like 5 times a game. Otherwise, his career is going to end in 2 years.
You won't have to do the tush push. It'll be the cam push.
Yeah, you could just pick him up and throw him. He wouldn't care.
Like, cannonball
Cam
throw.
Slam.
Cam slam. There
Cam
it is.
Slam.
Cam slam.
Sitting right there.
Slam him over the line.
Thanks,
the only thing I have to say about this is that Bobby Okereke is still a free agent, which is crazy because he was very sought after when he signed.
He is, and that's what made me think about it. I was like, did they ever replace him? I was like, oh yeah, they got Tremaine Edmonds, which now it's not really an upgrade. I'd say it's probably a lateral transfer from Okereke, maybe down a little bit. Okereke had played really well these last years. I mean, at least racked up the tackles for IDP purposes. But yeah, I mean, to me, like even if they don't draft a running back, is Skattebo overdrafted right here? Was this just a stat correction because of how much we loved Cam Skattebo last year? Like he's going around Quinshon Judkins, Swift, behind Javonte Williams, like 10. I mean, Travion Henderson. This is about where I'd say Skattebo should go. I mean, without Jeremiah Love as it is, like maybe give or take 3 or 4, but like I think I'd take the chance on Travion over Skattebo, right? Like let's say they don't add Jeremiah Love. Who would you rather have, Travion or Skattebo?
Skattebo.
Javonte or Skattebo?
Javonte.
Yeah, probably Javonte.
Judkins.
I saw what he did.
Oh, Judkins I'm so high on Judkins this year. It's unreal.
It's good.
Todd
for you,
Munkett
Joe.
is going to give him 350 carries.
So now Travion holds a lot of question marks, to be fair. But like, seems like where he should be going. I mean, the next one below him is Tuten and Swift. So maybe bump a bit. But...
rather have Skattebo. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I have a running back question in my surprises later, and I can't wait to hear all's opinion on it. All right, next one is another running back. I think we all can see this one coming from a mile away, but it's RJ Harvey. He was 50, now he's 61. I just think I still wouldn't take him at 61. Like, if J.K. Dobbins is healthy, I think this is a J.K. Dobbins situation, and I still think that they draft somebody or go get Alvin Kamara and muddy this up even further. I don't know. I'm out on Harvey after last year. I can't do it. I can't do a full season of it.
The dip makes a lot of sense. If anything, the dip should have been further, like you said. But I think this makes sense. I mean, I don't have any issues with this. The only thing that doesn't make sense we talked about, David Montgomery should be way higher. And that's the only one who like is below him where I'm like, what the hell? We got Jalen Warren, Stevenson, Chuba as the next few running backs now, all in kind of precarious situations with variations of running backs in their back.
Chuba's the interesting one, I think. Like, Dowdle's out of there, so
yeah.
Like,
Chuba should probably get a bit of a bump at this point. He's going to have
that contract.
Yeah.
Billy. He scored 12 touchdowns as a rookie in the Sean Payton offense.
Yeah, I hear it. I just
Billy. No, dude. I mean, anyone with a pulse could have scored 12 touchdowns with the Broncos last year. They were a solid team offensively, good line. Anyone could have scored a touchdown there. I like RJ Harvey as a runner and a pass catcher, but J.K. Dobbins is much better. Whoever they signs there is going to be better. He's a solid committee guy. That's it.
Yeah. This is like a Super Bowl team, but they are missing a running back component that is a stable presence on this offense. And it is not RJ Harvey. And it's not J.K. Dobbins either, even though like if a healthy season of J.K. Dobbins would be incredible, but we just know it's just not going to happen.
Didn't they bring McLaughlin back again too? I'm just worried about this whole team.
Still got Tyler Batty too.
Running back situation is the only part of the offense that doesn't make any sense. Like, they figured everything else out. It's just that one little piece.
Feel like, I don't know if it's Harbaugh or if it's just this group of running backs, but it was just such a split that I didn't want anything to do with it. Like, we watched it with Javonte, and then look what happens the year he's out of there. He finally goes out and has a top 5 fantasy season. Like, and you got these guys who are all probably pretty good running backs by themselves, like, and they just don't get enough carries. I mean, that's my problem. I don't want any of these guys.
No,
I'll take Dobbins. Wherever he's get drafted, but other than that, no.
Okay.
I do want to highlight the Waddle signing, though, how this is probably awesome for this running game because, I mean, Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims are fast, but no one really respects them. And then you really only have to worry about Courtland Sutton, who runs like a 4.9 at this point in his career. So by getting Jalen Waddle in that offense, I think this is really going to open stuff up for this running game.
That trade is ridiculous. I still can't believe that happened. But yeah, no, I love the occasional Mims touchdown that we're going to see because it's going to be like, all right, I got Jalen Waddle. I need 5 more points. There's 5 minutes left. And then Mims is going to get like an 80-yard touchdown. And it's going to piss Waddle managers off. But at the end of the day, they're going to end up with like 25. So like, shut up.
Or Ingram's going to come out of nowhere and finish like tight end 2 or something.
I love this team, man. I'm stoked about this.
I am too. I really this team is the one I think, like I said, is gonna do well. I don't think Ingram is on the team anymore, Joe. Am I not mistaken? I thought he signed somewhere else.
He signed a 2-year deal.
He is with the Titans, Joe.
Is he really?
Oh, no. Okay, no.
Are you tripping, Bill?
I'm not tripping. This article said that he was there.
He signed a 2-year deal.
They could trade for him. Okay, well, that makes sense then. Good job, clickbait article. You got me.
Oh man, the articles are killing me.
Well, let's not move off the Broncos. The next follower, which again, not that many spots, but it's directly related, kind of what we're talking about. It's Courtland Sutton. He went from 62 to 67. I think this is just a Waddle thing, but at the same time, like I think this offense is probably going to breed a lot of fantasy points, and maybe it's Josh situations, what he's saying, where you need 5 more points from Sutton, and it goes to Marvin Mims or Troy Franklin or somebody like that, and maybe it's just too much love spread around, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years as the true wide receiver one on this team, and just 1,000 yards. I mean, it's obviously going to dip a bit, right? Like he'll probably still stay in the touchdown range of 7 to 10, which is great. Still be good for fantasy. It's just not going to be that like everyday starter anymore. I mean, not that he really was anyway. He had some bad weeks, but he was pretty serviceable last year, almost a wide receiver one. So that's going to dip. Like he's going to clearly probably end up as like a wide receiver too. So I think 5 spots is fine. I mean, thought he'd drop more, honestly.
Would it be crazy to see him have his best like touchdown season with the addition of Waddle here? I mean, I think it's kind of a wash for Courtland Sutton because he's not a number one. We've known that his whole career outside of like the first 2 years when I thought he was going to be a good guy, but he's more of a wide receiver too. And they tried to feature him as wide receiver one. He couldn't deal with the coverages. Now that that's a little lighter, I think we could see a really good season for Courtland Sutton.
It's kind of funny. Waddle's same way, right? Like we're not ever sure if he can be the one either.
Yes.
So
they might work perfectly together. They might just be a 1A, 1B, and it's just fine. Maybe
sometimes 2 2s make a 1.
I mean, that was kind of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's thing. I mean, neither one of them were like ever elite, like all the time. Did they have good seasons? Each of them, yeah, but like neither of them were like a true fantasy top 5 wide receiver ever. So that could be a thing. And Jalen Waddle's had a lot of hype that he's not lived up to, which he's been fine. There's nothing wrong with it. He's had really bad quarterback play. So this is clearly probably the best quarterback he's ever played with outside of the one good year with Tua.
That's probably true.
Really, at that point, he was living in Tyreek's shadow. So,
yeah, he definitely was. Man, that Miami team's really just nothing anymore. Just funny.
It's a nightmare, man.
We'll get to that though. It's part of one of my questions. All right, let's move on to our first quarterback in the fallers, and this is Drake Maye. He went from 62 to 72. Again, none of these falls are like crazy far drops, but a double-digit one does mean something. I guess maybe the luster from the Super Bowl, like the prior to the Super Bowl, his playoffs were horrible. I mean, we can all admit that. The light was too bright for our kid, for the kid. But during the regular season, when the games are what they are, I still feel like he's gonna be a really serviceable quarterback here. Like I just don't think he's 72. I think he's closer again to like the top 5 quarterbacks.
Well, he's a
still think
QB1 in Dynasty or whatever crazy shit's happening. Maybe QB2 behind Josh Allen, but like I think this is probably about accurate. I think Drake Maye was fun, had a great year. Obviously, if AJ Brown goes there, things will change. But at the moment, he's not. So like Romeo Doubs bumps the needle up a bit, but how does it really bump it to where it's like, oh yeah, MVP caliber, redraft QB1? I think redraft, this is where he should be. I think the people that are ranking him in QB1 and 2 in Dynasty is the people who are thinking about the longevity of his career. And it's more about like, can he consistently put up QB2 numbers? I don't know. I don't think any of us do. And what we saw in the playoffs, yeah, it's a little playoff hangover, but I think it's also a lack of additions of options for him. I mean, yeah, Romeo Doubs so far. Cool. What else? Like, yeah, sure, it's AJ Brown. Maybe, like, I don't know, will they, won't they? It's really annoying for everybody, especially Patriots fans who are just waiting to get him, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem is just they didn't add anybody. And the Super Bowl luster, obviously. But I would make the argument he should be going above Caleb and Jalen Hurts where he's at right now by the time season rolls around.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you firmly.
Fair.
Shocker.
And I expected that from you. But what I will say is...
I'm sticking up for you and myself. You're welcome.
Yeah, so currently the quarterback rankings, according to this, Josh Allen is QB1, Lamar is QB2, Jaden Daniels is QB3, Joe Burrow is QB4, Caleb Williams is QB5, Jalen Hurts QB6, and then Drake Maye is QB7. I think there's a split hairs case. I know that Josh is going to vehemently defend Jalen Hurts, and I can respect that. But like I think these names are kind of flip floppy here between 5 and 7.
It all depends, like who can stay healthy this year, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Is Jaden Daniels' price not a little ridiculous?
It is quite ridiculous because we don't know what he's going to look like. Like we had what we got year 1, which was incredible. I think we all kind of were taken aback. However, the problem started to arise when this kid is not bulky enough to take some of these hits. And if he can't run, he can't be Jaden Daniels. It's just not going to happen.
No. And I mean, if Ayuk goes there, it's one thing, but you've got McLaurin, who's older, still awesome, but older. And I mean, Chig is your number 2 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Debo's a free agent still, so it's not like they brought him back. Like, this is, if anything, this team is worse than it was last year. And prior to him getting injured, he didn't look good, really. So, yeah, I mean, him being QB3 is a little rich. If anything, that's who I'd jump over Drake May, put him at QB6.
I think he needs to be more like QB8. Like, put him between May and Dak, and I'll be cool with that.
Yeah.
I can see dynasty-wise, maybe you still have a 3 in there just because, like, you never know how next 3 or 4 years are going to go. But this is who people are drafting for next season. So, I mean, you're drafting a ceiling.
I mean, I guess at the very least, to me, it feels like RG3, and I'm not saying injury-wise. I'm just saying more so like good and bad. Like, you're going to have good seasons, you're going to have bad seasons. I think it's just there's that gamble you're taking by taking Jaden Daniel. Like, injuries aside, like, I think you're taking a risk by taking Jaden Daniel, especially that early in the 4th round, 3rd round, wherever he's going. Like, I think I'd just be more comfortable getting Jalen Hurts 3 rounds later, or Dak Prescott or Herbert in the 10th round or something like that. Like, that's kind of my MO. If I'm gonna risk it for a quarterback, it's Josh Allen and then maybe Mahomes, like, depending on what they do with wide receivers.
Well, I think Bo Nix, Purdy, like, there's
lots of
plenty
options.
of quarterbacks that's like
Trevor Lawrence.
I think I'm still going to get
Dart.
I think I'm going to get almost that same amount of points, but I don't have to spend near the draft capital to get them. And that's just the way it is. But I don't know.
I said Mahomes, and I just realized he is like QB 12, which just feels like he's going to go off.
It's just the ACL. Like, we don't know. Like, they say he's going to be ready for training camp. It's hard to believe that A, he would be ready, and B, he would be regular Mahomes this entire season coming off the ACL.
I think you'd start getting some mobility mid-season, I'd say, but I don't think Mahomes needs mobility. I think he could actually just be a pocket passer. I think
maybe without Nagy he can, but with that O-line as it was constructed last year, he has to be.
So I'm saying with Nagy gone, man, I just feel like, and Mahomes at QB 12, I feel like that's a league winner. If that's where he actually gets drafted, I doubt it. I'm sure he's grabbing Trevor Lawrence over Mahomes at the end of the day. But
yeah,
I'm also of the mind, why would you rush him back with how much of investment you have in him right now?
To get the number 1 seed, because it really is a cheat code. Like, if you get the number 1 seed, you play one less. It is what it is. You got
eventually the AFC is going to learn that quarterbacks don't mean anything at all. Like, eventually they're going to realize that. Like, all these people winning Super Bowls on the NFC side, Jalen Hurts aside, because he was awesome, but like Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl. Like, that should show you how much the quarterback position means right now.
That was that was the best defense in the league winning a Super Bowl is what that was. And I mean, the offense was great too, obviously.
When the Eagles won, the best defenses winning Super Bowls. Like, that's what it was. I mean, again, Hurts was good too, but the defenses were kind of the thing that made the difference there.
Yeah, at least Hurts didn't play like Maye in the Super Bowl either time.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Couple more here. Got Quentin Johnston went from 86 to 95. I think there's just uncertainty with the Chargers. I think that maybe doesn't need to be much, drawn about that one.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, it's the Chargers. It's fine. I don't really know why he took a hit. It's not like he
was just overinflated last year. I think, in my opinion, he was just
like a stock market coming back down.
Right. I think this is just a market correction.
I will not draft him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, there you go, Joe. We finally got a negative comment out of you.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
It only took 16 players to get there, but we did it. Okay, we'll move on quickly. Tony Pollard's next on the list. Went from 88 to 99. I think this is just the impending Jeremiah Love situation. that's happening here.
Yeah, and low key, yeah, it's 100% Love, like potentially going here and probably. I mean, it's literally, in my opinion, between the Titans and the Giants, and I think either of them could do it. But I think with this, it makes it interesting because this team's only going to get better, right? Like, I mean, they made some additions. Obviously, it's mostly New York Giants and New York Jets or whatever. But at the end of the day, like they made some additions. Cam Worth's going to be a little bit better. Hopefully, he's shown some flashes at the end of the year. So. One of the running backs, I don't know, Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, when they had the chance by themselves, it was great. But when they were both playing, it was really just a split backfield.
That O-line was also horrible last year. Like,
That's true.
That can't be understated.
Yeah, they have way too much money invested in that O-line to have it play like that.
For sure.
Pollard might be a good buy low. I don't know.
Yeah, you might be right about that. I don't know.
I mean, if Love gets there, you just wasted whatever you traded for him. But
yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because both teams, the Titans and the Giants, have two at least serviceable running backs for fantasy and really just for football in general. Like Tyjae and Tony and Skattebo and Tracy can all be good running backs. Someone's getting fucked here. I don't know who it is yet. Maybe one of them gets traded and gets onto a new team. Like I'm curious to see what happens with Tyjae Spears in the future. Does he stay on the Titans if they draft Love, or does he move on somewhere else? Like he's been a really good running back who's never really had a crack at it and been on a pretty bad team.
Well, he's probably going to end up on Washington or Denver or one of these teams that just has a bunch of guys on the team and not really any plan.
I guess Washington's still an option for Love as well.
Yeah, if Love goes there, I'm going to be very upset on draft night.
I could see the Giants drafting Love just to say not let the Commanders have him. You know,
could be.
Like, we can't just let an in-state rivalry have that, or in-division rivalry.
Right. All right. Last couple here, not really names that are jumping off the page, but they're still drops, and that's Juwan Jennings went from 112 to 122. I think that's just a Mike Evans correction, probably. Unless you guys.
Team right now.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent, though.
Maybe then it's just because he doesn't have a team. However, there's somebody that dropped even worse than that, and he also doesn't have a team.
Who's that?
Oh yeah. Next one is Stefon Diggs, who also went from 91 to 132, which was an even more precipitous fall than Juwan Jennings. I guess that's why I tricked myself even. So I was like, well, he only dropped 10 spots, but free agent Stefon Diggs dropped 40.
Well, Diggs also has some lawsuit stuff going on as well, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and when he would sign again. But honestly, he did way better than I was expecting him to do on the Patriots. I thought he was toast. Still looks like he's got some in the tank. He's just got some off the field issues that continue to be a problem for him.
Well, we'll know if he signs with like Baltimore. We'll know.
Yeah.
It's over. However, if he signs with the Chiefs, that means he might be in for a resurgent season. They love these guys that have
storied
legal
pests.
cases. Yeah, they love that. I can't get enough of that on the Chiefs.
Poor Kenneth Walker. Such a good guy.
Such a good guy.
We'll see, Joe. KC changes a man, so we'll see.
Well,
He's a good guy right now.
Did you see the meme about Max Crosby whenever he got drafted and what he looks like now, the tats and everything, and they forecast what Mendoza's going to look like in a few years, and changes a man.
It really does. All right, last one's Woody Marks. Went from 121 to basically undrafted, went to 150. Did David Montgomery completely kill his value? I don't know. Like, I do think it's going to be Montgomery's backfield, but could I see him getting 25% of the carries? Maybe not. Maybe that's possible. I don't think he's completely dead in the water.
30 spots seems a bit aggressive. Like, we knew that they were going to get someone. I feel like David Montgomery is the least scary of, like, what if they got Jeremiah Love?
Right.
What if they're going to sign one of, the Ken Walkers, Etienne's?
Ken Walker, yeah, Etienne.
So, it's not scary. At the end of the day, like, you got Woody Marks and you can get him for free. Like, might as well take him. It's a good fifth running back to have sitting on the bench for the first few weeks, see what happens.
As of right now, he's the direct handcuff to all those, what he was doing last year. So, I mean, if David Montgomery were to go down, then Woody Marks is going to do what he did last year, which was fine. I mean, it's just Woody Marks is so average in every possible way. Like when you watch those games, you're just like,
that is true.
But
you're like, man, if anyone else would have had that ball, that would have been a 30-yard touchdown. But it was a 5-yard
team that doesn't have a line, though. You know, we've been mentioning that a lot. That was one team that has a really rough line. So, assuming they correct that a little bit further in the draft as well, or maybe late free agency, it could be better. And Montgomery's a wrecking ball, so I don't think Montgomery's giving the ball up real quick. But you never know. What if Montgomery gets the yips and fumbles a bunch, and Woody gets the chance to shine, and he does? You know, like he's just a year 2 guy. He could be good still. Like,
yeah. And Woody Marks is a great receiver coming out of college, receiving running back too. So that could be in the cards.
Was he the guy with the most receiving receptions in college history? After playing,
I don't think it was history, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
Joe loves that one Woody Marks fun fact.
I honestly I didn't even know if that was the guy. I just assumed that.
Every cocktail party, Joe busts out the Woody Marks fact. That's how you know it's party's getting going.
Caviar with the spoon. Yes, did you know that Woody Marks had the most catches? And
yes. You know, his actually name is Jaquavius Marks, but he lives by Woody.
You got that nickname. All right, I'm sorry.
No, it's literally because of Toy Story. If that's where you're headed, that's literally what it is.
Well, that's even funnier because I saw that. I've been watching a lot of Toy Story with my son because he loves that shit. And there's a scene in Toy Story 2 where he comes back and he's like, "You're broken. I don't want to play with you anymore." And that someone posted that whenever they signed Montgomery, and man, I lost it. I was the intended audience for that meme. So
pretty good meme. All right, I have a couple of questions that I call them surprises. They're just questions about like stuff in this data that I didn't really see a good answer for. So I felt like I should bring it to the group because it wasn't really about a riser or faller. It was more of just like not even like applicable. The first one is the Miami Dolphins wide receiver room. So it's currently like Tutu Atwell, Malik Washington, and a bunch of other random people that you don't know what are going to be a part of. Are any of these guys draftable right now? Like I saw Malik Washington was like 21 or like 214. So it's basically the 21st round, which means he's not. And then I didn't even see Tutu Atwell at all. I'm sure he was pretty far down there as well. They don't have anybody else. Somebody's got to get targets. That's the argument we make year in and year out. I can assume they're going to draft a rookie. I think we can probably peg that one when we do our mock draft.
Round picks, you expect they're going to replace Waddle with one of those picks.
Right. But that one rookie can't catch 300 balls. Like somebody else has to catch something on this team. So who do we think it is?
Bring Darren Waller back again because that was a fun little experiment last year that actually worked weirdly.
I don't think they will because he was Mike McDaniel's guy. And
that's true.
Like Mike, when they actually, it was funny. Darren Waller actually gave an interview where he said that during his exit interview is when they called Mike McDaniel out to fire him. And they came back in and said, they wasn't Mike McDaniel doing the exit interview anymore. It was the GM and owner. And they're just like, yeah, we let him go. So it's been a fun season. Thanks for coming in. And yeah,
brutal.
He was literally in the office when he got fired. I was like, man, that is a brutal way to go. Didn't even let him finish the exit interview.
They see him at the parking lot and chat for a little bit. I guess
they both had their little
office
boxes. Yeah, exactly. They both had one. But anyway, somebody's got to score points, right? So what do we think is going to happen here?
I don't want to.
I like Theo Weiss and I like Theo Weiss. I think he played pretty good at Mizzou. I know he's older. So I would take a shot on him. Also probably take a shot on Jalen Tolbert because we've seen him actually serve as a wide receiver too.
I feel like all these guys are just going to be floating around free agency all redraft year, and you're just going to be able to pick them up and play them as you want. And I think it's just going to be a crapshoot. Malik Willis throws for like on average 180. Like, are we really going to? I mean, I guess maybe he'll just get to sling this ball and show what he could do as a passer this year, considering it's like for nothing. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Like,
With this wide receiver room, it's really going to be hard for him to show himself as a passer.
well, I'm just saying he can take some shots that he normally wouldn't because he can show off that he can throw a deep ball or something. I don't know. I just feel like he'll play a little looser than trying to win games for the Packers to keep them in contention while Love gets healed. So
I suspect that they go out and trade for Dontavian Wicks. Because the Packers have to decide whether they're going to sign him back or not. Or they could trade dump him to their ex-GM who needs a wide receiver and just trade, some late round pick for him.
Yeah,
just my
there'll
theory.
be some trade aspect to it, but they're definitely drafting someone. So
I think it's gonna be like Jordan Tyson, Dontavian Wicks, and then whoever else, Theo Weiss, Washington, Tutu Atwell, something like that.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Still gonna be a brutal year.
While we're on the Dolphins, I want to bring it up because this guy is going in the first round and his ADP has changed 1.5 points. That's Devon Achane. Kind of worried about this whole situation, dude, because you got Malik Willis there who can run in his own right, so he's probably going to lose some carries to that. You have no weapons to speak of, so defenses are just going to be keying on this guy who's 5'8", running out of the backfield. And then we're going away from Mike McDaniels to coaching staff that might prefer an Ollie Gordon prototype build or a Jalen Wright even.
Over Achane or in addition to? Because this kid's amazing.
In addition to. No, I'm not saying Devon Achane is not talented. What I'm saying is I'm very concerned about this current setup for him if I'm going to take him in the first round because the talent is undeniable. Dude's awesome, but like there is nothing else to protect this guy from anything. So you can say, yeah, he's going to get 300 carries this year. That's awesome. Are they going to be worth a damn?
He's going on the turn. I'd take Achane and Genty and call it a day. Like I'm good with that. I mean, Achane proved the only thing I am slightly worried about would be the playbook change, right? Like that's going to be a thing. But Achane showed that it doesn't really matter. It's a give him the ball and let him cook. Like he's mini Tyreek Hill at running back. Like it doesn't matter what the route is. It doesn't matter what the run is. Like now the team is in shambles 100%, but Achane makes people miss. Like that's what he does, and then he bursts out and gets 40 yards. So I don't think it's really going to hurt Achane. I mean, I'm sure there will be some more mix in with Ollie Gordon and stuff. Like he's not going to go out there and get 90 targets again, probably. But I think his value is fine just because of how good he is. Now it might dip a bit for sure, but it's not like he was playing with an elite quarterback. I mean, they were playing with backups for the last 2 years essentially, and half of Tua. So, I mean, I think Malik Willis, the running upside might be a little bit worrisome, but I don't know. I just feel like Achane's part of this offense, if not the only part of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, they've already come out and said they're definitely not going to trade him, so that definitely means they're going to build him. And luckily for Achane, he only needs 1 or 2 runs a game to like make his entire value for the entire game. So even if they continue with his like 25 carries a game or even like 20 to 25 carries, it's only going to take 2 or 3 to make up his points for the whole time. Problem is why would you not just make Malik Willis throw every game? Like, because what proof do we have that that's going to win you a football game? So, like, why would the game plan not just be like, we are not going to let them run? They can definitely throw as much as they want, and that just be the game plan against them, because I think that's a winning formula.
I think Achane's just matchup proof, though. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen it, but they tried to stop him last year, and he was getting catches. He was slipping.
Yeah, but there's still a little bit of worry with like Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill. There's a little something that like maybe something's going to happen. With this group of bums they have now, I don't think that's that same worry.
I think like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley are matchup proof. I just like Devon Achane's finished as wide receiver, running back 5 the last 2 years. I'm not saying he's going to finish outside the top 10, but with where he's going right now, it wouldn't shock me if he is running back 9, running back 10, as opposed to running back 5.
I would vault Achane up to play the game proof because Saquon was clearly taken away last year, and that might have been play calling or that might have been whatever, but like it was pretty predictable what they were doing. They took Saquon away. He wasn't breaking tackles, and Henry's out if you just get down by a touchdown. So think Achan's healthier because he can play in any aspect of the game. So I'm just not worried about Achan. I think running back 5.
No, I think it's you said Achane and Genty, which is why I'm bringing this up. But look what happened to Genty last year. No quarterback,
well,
no
that's
weapons.
That's fair. I'm not saying it can't happen. I just think Achan just slips through it, man. And it's just somehow he always runs for 20 yards. He's the Cooper Cup of running backs. It's just one of those things where it doesn't make sense, but it happens.
Yeah.
I'll take Jeremiah Love over him.
Okay. I just have 2 more things that I have written down. One is the Packers wide receivers. So Watson's at 56, Reed's at 107, Golden is at 120, and then Wicks is it's further down than that even, so I don't really consider him a part. I guess the main thing is there's no way that Watson being 56 is the most valuable player on this team, right? Like that can't possibly be true.
I'll be honest with you. He is the most valuable wide receiver on this team. He just can't stay healthy. I've been proved wrong by the Christian Watson. Whenever Rodgers was playing him the ball, he was just standing there wide open. Yeah, cool. That was great. Last year he looked amazing when he was on the field. Unfortunately, was not the entire year. So I think this is about right. I'm shocked that Golden's that low, though. I assumed everyone still loved Golden. I mean, we were talking about how he was the Golden.
Well, after this season, Golden's the only one on a contract. Him and Savion Williams or whatever. But Reed and Watson, their contracts expire after this season. So
Reed's fun too when he's healthy. I mean, this was his first unhealthy year, and he got 2 1,000-yard seasons on the ground and passing or rushing or receiving. So, I mean, both of them have been good. I mean, Reed's a discount just because we finally vacated Doubs. So maybe Reed being fully healthy starting this year, maybe he gets more involved to start with. I mean, Golden hasn't shown it yet. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, I don't know if I'm drafting Christian Watson at 60.
I don't think I'd take Watson. I think you're right. I'd take a shot on Reed 100% though, because we've seen it from him.
Or even Golden.
I think Golden at 120, he looked horrible last season. He looked like, why in the world did you take this kid in the first round? But he can't be that bad, right? He can't be.
It should be the 3 of them running most of the routes. So hopefully it'll actually just be consistent instead of rotating them in. I mean, I know there's a lot of injuries last year, but it felt like it was we got 5 receivers. We're going to put all of them in at different times. It was you never really get that consistency with Love, and Love doesn't mind. He throws to whoever, but it'd be nice to have elite pass catchers on Green Bay. Haven't had one since Devontae. So
we know they're going to take one in the 3rd round this year because that's
kind of
what they do. So
gum up this wide receiver room
for sure. Okay, my last topic, and this one is a little more controversial, and it's a more broad topic. It's not necessarily one player. However, when I was doing the research for this, it seems like we have a running back crisis brewing on our hands. If you look right at the running back 20 to 21 spots, running back 20 is Travion Henderson, running back 21 is Quinshon Judkins. After that, though, it's not great. And I'm a little worried this year that running back premiums are going to be even higher than normal just because after 21, I don't really trust. Now, we talked David Montgomery, so maybe I'm a little bit different about him. But the rest of these guys, none of these are trustworthy dudes that are going to have long NFL careers as potential ones on a team. I'm kind of concerned we're running out of running backs very, very quickly because this draft only has 1. He's already factored into the top 20 running backs. After that, though, there's not really anybody. So I'm getting a little concerned, guys. I'm not going to lie. This season is going to be weird.
Well, the craziest thing about these rankings, and now everything's going to change. Some of these wide receivers are going to pop up there, like London, Neighbors.
Running backs, too, because they are going to land in spots.
And running, and Love's pretty much already supplanted the top 10 running backs, so it's not like we're going anywhere here. But of the top 16 of the list that we're looking at here is 10 running backs and 6 wide receivers, and they're the ones you could guess: Puka, Jamar Chase, JSN, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Jefferson. And then it's literally 5 more running backs with Saquon ending the list, Jeremiah Love, Hampton. So, I get what you're saying, but I don't think this is actually how it's going to pan out. We're not going to see 6 and 6 wide receiver running back in the first round. There's going to be a wide receiver that jumps up there. I don't know who. Someone will be up there, I imagine. I feel like every year it's 4 running backs drafted in the first round at this point. And then, but yeah, I mean, it's really that flip is where it's at right now. If the rankings stay the same, like really want to grab James Cook and Hampton or something, or Achane or whatever you can get. And then it's like, then you build a roster. Or if you can get Jefferson and Achane or something, that way you can get a wide receiver and a running back. But you're right. I mean, it's slim pickings at the end, but there's someone's got to hit, right? One of these rookies is going to hit. They always do.
They always do. But I mean, Billy, you're right. I just did an underdog draft, and it was before free agency. So I mean, the Ken Walker thing helped a little bit, but like, yeah, it fell off. I got to the third round. I think I had 2 wide receivers and a running back, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta pack up running backs. I think I went running back the next 3 picks after that. It is concerning how quick it falls off in drafts.
It's never been a problem for me. I just always draft running backs.
I think this year it's going to mean more taking those running backs higher than like the wider, zero running back strategy. That strategy is going to burn you very quickly in this draft in particular, because like I said, like if there's only 21 available, 2-team, so let's say 12-team league, everyone has 2 running back spots. That's 3 teams are only going to have 1 good running back. And then you're taking a question mark, and that's not even to mention the people that are going to take multiple, like 3, put it in their flex spot, which is going to leave teams not even having a good running back to put on their team. Because like right now, it's like RJ Harvey, don't trust him at all. Bayshal Tuten, don't trust him at all. And like even like further down this list, you got Ramondre Stevenson, don't really trust him all that much. And it's just like a concern I'm starting to have when, especially doing this exercise, where I'm like, running backs are going to have to be taken high this year, or else you're going to get left without a partner. Like tight ends is one thing when you're doing that. Running backs, though, you're going to get burned because you're going to be taking a lot of dart throws with your last picks here.
Well, I feel like, I guess Washington's not a good example, but I was like, even if Washington doesn't go after a running back, I feel like they're going to add a rookie or whatever. It's like, just play into that mix. And it's going to be chaos. And it's not going to be like a startable thing. Like, we're going to see some resurgence out of these, like, second and third round running backs that get drafted. Like, I think there's going to be a serviceable 1 or 2 out of them that, like, it's clear cut, like, oh, wow, they are probably the best running back on this team to start. I think the problem is everyone's going to this committee running back scenario, or at least like, let's sign a bunch of them and hope that they hit type thing. Like Washington, for example, Rashad White, Jerome Ford, Ja'Cory McCroskey, and McNichols. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, makes sense. Like, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. But as soon as you see like Nicholas Singleton in the system, and we watch the first preseason game and he goes for 80 yards or whatever, and it's a terrible example because I don't know how good he is at this moment, but like, then you're like, okay, well, maybe this is the guy. And then like, we'll see some resurgence out of these rookies, even though there's just one elite guy at the end of the day. Like, I'm not terribly worried about this rookie running back class as much as you are, Bill.
Worried. I don't know, man. That's why I'm so high on like Quinshawn. I really like the Allgeier signing. George Halani's a guy that could hit late if they don't make a move at running back and just wait on Charbonnet. So I think Josh is right. I think by the time the season rolls around, we'll be okay. But as of right now, if you're looking at it, you cannot be happy with anyone, past RB20. It is just unreal.
Now, I will say I do think this is going to correct itself eventually, but I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat. All right, if you're not into conspiracy theories, you can turn off the pod. We'll see you next week. But this is a conspiracy theory that I had. And Joe, you kind of actually tipped me off to this a little bit. We were talking about basketball. Landing? No, we're talking about 2020 and things that happened in 2020. But Joe, when you said that, like when we were having a text conversation, we were talking about like the lack of talent in the NBA supposedly right now. NFL is kind of in the same spot, and it's because those development years between 2020 and 2021 kind of in a rough spot. Like they wasn't really producing the same caliber athletes that we were getting prior to that. And now I do think it's fixing itself. Like I do think next year's running back class and then the year after that could produce, 3 or 4 good guys again, maybe first round running backs here and there. But I think as an overall, we have a gap for last year and this year where like maybe not the best developed players in the world. And maybe the fact that, Cam Ward was our only first round quarterback last year that meant anything, and that he didn't really pop. And then, Jackson Dart did well too. I don't want to say that, but and then this year we really only have the one Mendoza who's popping. We don't have any other ones. I just feel like there was a development year there between 2020 and 2021 that just not really the same as it was before. And
just to clarify here, I feel like you're lumping in the lack of quarterbacks, because we are at a weird quarterback deficit right now to all the positions. And I feel like, number one, that's not fair to defense, because defense is looking amazing right now. Like, we're getting the best
defense players, I will say.
Great defensive draft to add to the ridiculous amount of good edge rushers we have in this league. But not even that. Like, we're talking, like I said the running backs or whatever, but like every year we get a Cam Skattebo, a Devin Neal, a guy who's in the 3rd round and 4th round.
Okay, we have Cam Skattebo who's about to get his job taken, probably. Like that's what I'm saying.
We don't know that. And some of these guys are going to end up being good. I don't care what you say. Like, I know you guys are worried about this running back class. We usually only get one elite running back in a class. Is it rare? Like, do we ever have a running back drafted number 5 and number 7? No, that never happens. It's literally always just one dude at the end of the day, or 2 dudes at the end of the 1st round, or whatever it is. Like, yeah, we're missing that dude at the end of the 1st round, but that doesn't mean Jonah Coleman can't be something, or Emmett Johnson. Like, one of these guys are going to get into a landing spot, and they're going to have immediate value, and they're going to be great. And that's going to bump up fill in some of these holes that we're seeing in the running back spot. I'm not worried about it at all. It happens every year.
No, I mean, both of you have good points here. The talent thing, Billy, I think you're right about, because even at wide receiver, the Dolphins and the Raiders can't even field a fucking wide receiver room in the NFL right now. So, and they're talking about doing expansion teams, and good almighty, I don't want to see what some of those rosters look like.
I'm just curious how that
I would agree with you about the development of the COVID years, but also the transfer portal, I think, is a big problem. I had to, because what did good running backs do in the past? They sat behind the guy that was starting, and then when they got their shot, they were awesome. Now it's like, oh, I'm not starting for Mizzou. I'm going to go play at fucking middle of nowhere, Oklahoma somewhere. And, nothing against your Oklahoma school. Any team, like Southwestern Oklahoma State, I don't even know if that's a college. They'll be like, I'll go be the starting running back there. They're going to throw me $500,000. It's stupid.
By the way, I didn't say the transfer portal was the bad part of that talk. That was not the part of your sentence that I was taking umbrage with. By the way, just so you know, it's the one that's going to get a warning label put on this podcast. Is the one that I was like, man,
the COVID years. Well, no, but for real though, like, why can people play for 6 years in college football? That's the question right there. Is like, people are getting ridiculous breaks for this, where it's like,
yeah, it's like the COVID extension's over now. Like, that part is over.
That's hurting it, because we've had some people who've just been like, no, not feeling like it yet. Maybe next year will be the draft.
You do say that, but we did get a lot of good developed quarterbacks in that 2024 class that, like, had they not stayed an extra year, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, like, if they not stayed an extra year, it probably would have actually hurt them. So it kind of, I don't know. There's a double-edged sword. I will say the transfer portal thing does seem like a problem, but it's also like, who is not developing these guys anymore? Like, why are we still not getting, because it's not every player that's like that. There's some at the top, but like, not every player does that, and they're still not getting developed very much. So I'm still confused at what's going on.
I just feel like when we look at like what happened with like Georgia with Todd Gurley and Sony Michel, and you look at what happened with Alabama when they had all those guys going through there, like, each guy waited, and then they got their shot and they shined, and then they got drafted. So there was not a ton of tread on their tires, because they didn't try to start as a freshman somewhere and just get destroyed by the time they graduate. I don't know. I think it's a problem.
We'll see. You might be right about that. Anyway, that's off of Conspiracy Corner. I don't want to. We stick this one in at the end of the podcast, so that way, if you didn't make it this far, you don't have to go off on the crazy.
I just want to talk about one person who I was shocked didn't have a bump or drop. Michael Pittman stayed exactly the same with his transfer.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
I thought that was interesting because, he went up a couple in a one spot technically, and I'm sitting here down one spot actually, ironically enough. I'm like, why not bump him? He was, I don't want to say buried on the team. Like, they But after the drafting of Tyler Warren, I mean, it really just kind of vacated his role, which we kind of called at the beginning of last season, where Warren plays that Pittman role really well. So, like, why would you need Pittman? And they didn't need him last year. But Pittsburgh clearly needs a second guy. I mean, not even saying if DK Metcalf's not out there, but when DK Metcalf is out there, he can't do everything. So now I know the quarterback situation is a little hairy with the fact that we don't have one yet. But at the end of the day, like, this is the number 2 guy. Like, he has the potential to be that slot guy, that 6 catches a game for 70 yards guy. Like, to me, him going in 90 something is wild to me. Like, I could see some wide receivers I'd like to draft him over.
Yeah, the Pittman thing's weird. I do think it's the quarterback situation, but if he stays there all year, I will have 100% Pittman. He's set up for so much success in this
even
role.
If he gets 800 yards and 6 touchdowns, I'm good with that. Like, he's a great fill-in wide receiver at the end of the day. If not a starter, we could even go up from there.
That's fair. All right. That's all we got for ADP risers and fallers. We will obviously be, going over this again in August, but I felt like it was good that we got a nice little audit to where we are right now after free agency, just basic storylines that have made themselves known. I just feel like, it's a good check-in, good seeing where everyone's at. Next week, we will be doing one of our favorite episodes, the vaunted 2026 breakout players, where we pick random people that you would not even have guessed will be it, or we'll pick very obvious candidates and the other 2 will make fun of the person saying like, wow, a breakout, that person's already.
You think Tyreek Hill's going to break out this year?
Right. Exactly. But we'll see. We'll try to parse through and come up with some breakout players. And that is what we will be doing next week. That being said, Joe, get us out of here.
Good night. Sorry for saying COVID.